gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Socially Unavailable podcast. Today, I'm joined by one of my old friends, childhood friends, Aaron Gonzalez, also known as Strange Child. Where he's here to talk about some of his music and upcoming projects. Aaron, how you doing, man?
What's up, man? Good to be here. Good to be here.
That's what's up. You want to give the listeners some insight who you are and some things you're gonna be talking about today.
Yeah, bro. Of course. So, I go by the name Strange Child. I make music. I got everything out on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, you name it. And basically, I'm a Christian who makes music. I'm a Christian who raps. I make indie music, like alternative. I make, um, pop stuff, electronic stuff, anything you name it. I've been kind of sticking more to the rap thing recently, but I got a lot in store. And basically, my goal is to just reach as many people as I can and impact people with my music. Be relatable, but also show people the light in many different ways. Show
Mm.
people hope in that that God's listening to them, that God hears them, and basically encouragement through my music. So yeah, you could check me out, Strange Child, strangechild.music on Instagram. And yeah, I just been trying to impact the people with my music, and I just released a song called IDK. I don't know, is featuring Zay Hill and Mikey J. And if you could check out that one, that's good right there. That's the one I just dropped,
that
and
that song is really good.
appreciate it, bro. Yeah, it's one of the realest songs that I wrote in recent times.
Mm.
So yeah,
All
that's
right.
that's a little bit about me. I'm a producer and artist.
Producer and artist. That's what's up. And that song is IDK is really good. I'll be sure to for everyone listening, I'll be sure to put his all his information in the description, also in the show notes, so everyone can go follow him. But so since we're going on, you're giving your background and everything. I want to start with Strange Child, right? So where did this name come from? How did you come about this name?
Yeah, so it's actually interesting because I came up with it when I was a lot younger. I was like 15 or 16 actually. And the reason is because I had some friends, and with the way I would like kind of talk, the way I would say things, they'll be like, "Yo, like you're like you're a funny dude, man." And some of them will be like, "Oh, like what a strange child." Like I literally had that quote just like in my head, like, oh, you're a peculiar boy, strange child. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of rock with that. It's kind of different, you know.
Yeah.
But also, so I carried it into my the now because basically it speaks to um my lack of willingness to be confined to one sound, to conform to just one lane. I feel like in this industry, um, a lot of people it's very much about sticking to one genre because it's marketable,
Mm.
and it makes sense, from a marketing standpoint, it makes sense. But I want to try something different that I haven't seen as much, which is people that market themselves on a lot of different sounds, that R&B, that trap, indie, alternative, softer stuff, heavier stuff, all of it. And so just the idea of that is strange to some people. So I actually wanted to stick to it, just because of that.
Oh, okay. So you got it from inspiration from others, from other people, from your friends calling you a strange child. That's what's up
Childhood
though.
friends.
Shout out to
Yeah,
friends, shout out
yeah.
to friends. No, that's what's up though. That's cool because it's funny because I've seen it. And I always wondered where it came from, but so that's cool. And I like I love the insight that you're giving.
Yeah, bro.
So you started with Strange Child, you got it from your friends, and then so you started this stage name, right? So now,
Hmm.
well, before obviously you get to the stage name, you got to start with music. You got to start somewhere, right? So what
Of course.
exactly first got you into making music and writing lyrics and all those stuff and everything like that?
Right. So I actually started out with just producing. Like
Mm.
I did want to be a rapper, but it wasn't that I like discovered, oh, I could rap, let me produce to it. it was me producing and let me rap to it. So
Oh.
the way it worked was actually it started when I was about 11. My dad showed me GarageBand, and he
Mm.
was like, "Hey, this might be something you might like." And he just kind of was just like casually, just like, "All right, yeah, check it out." And I'm like, "Okay." And then I looked at it, and I started, putting loops together, and I started making horrible sounding stuff that was trash because I was just starting. I was 11. I didn't know what I was doing, and I was just kind of doing it as like pastime, something fun. But then really quickly, um, I started to develop this mindset of like, you know what? I actually want to be like my favorite, artists. Like, I actually start. I want to get inspiration from them and start making music like them.
Mm.
And so because I was inspired, I was like, let me start like rapping and stuff. So my stuff was mad like off beat because I was a little kid. I was like boom, clap, boom, clap, boom. It was so bad. Um, but it just developed and sprouted into something that I became passionate about, and because I was passionate about it, it allowed me to stick it out to the point where I could start developing the skill. So like usually
Mm.
I'm the type of person where like I don't I have a hard time just like sitting and developing a skill that I don't care about or that I'm not passionate about. Sometimes our jobs will have us do that, school will have us do that, and I've always struggled with that.
Mm.
I've always struggled with like I was actually struggling in school at the time. I struggled just with staying in one place and just applying it.
Oh yeah.
But what I did was I realized, what, I'm passionate about this music thing, and for some reason, this blindness that to like how bad I was just kind of came over me, right? Because like when I was a kid, like I genuinely couldn't see how bad I was. Like I knew I wasn't professional, but I couldn't even see it. And that, in a sense, like just having that tunnel vision
Mm.
helped me go forward and get better. So like
Oh.
by the time I was 14, I made my first, I would say I made my first really sick beat when I was like 13. Like sometimes I actually would still like go into my phone and my notes or whatever and actually listen to it and be like, yo, this was ahead of its time. I was 13 years old and I made a song like a beat, and it was like my first like actual like legit, okay, this is a good beat type thing. And then I did a rap to it. I sounded corny, but I was like kind of putting together my flow, and it was starting to sound like, okay, he's a little bit of like a little kid, but he can actually get into it now.
Mm.
But by the time I was 14, 15, it was a full on like this is what I love to do. And I was just making beats all day. I was just making music all day. I was obsessed with it. And me and my boy Andrew, shout out Andrew Mark. He's gonna be probably throwing stuff out there soon too. He's
Oh,
working on stuff.
nice, nice.
Um, and me and him you probably remember, Jared, because me and him were locked in, and
Yeah,
we were
you,
just
you
making
were.
music like two peas in a pod.
You guys were
We were
really
making
locked
music.
in.
We were just best friends. Still are, bro. He's my brother-in-law now. Um, and locked in, making music, just like hitting the stew. Well, the little, you know, in the basement stew.
Yeah.
um,
Hey, Stu
and
is still Stu.
bro, a stew is a stew.
That's it.
Um, and we were just messing around, making what we thought was pretty legit music. We like he listens back to it now, he's like like but
You gotta
because
start
we were
somewhere
young.
though. Everyone starts somewhere.
Absolutely. And I'll be like, bro, this is the memories, bro. We
Yep.
sound corny, but like, bro, like look at where we came from. We were
Exactly.
just after youth group on Friday nights, begging his mom, "Oh, can Aaron stay over?" And then when I would stay over, we would just stay up till like 2, 3 in the morning, just writing bars.
Mm.
I had mad beats that we were using, and we were just writing bars, trying to get something going. And then when we would come to my house, we would record it. Um, so yeah, Andrew was definitely a huge part of my story. Just in the music thing. I For a while we were doing stuff with Josh too, with
Caban.
Josh Caban, yeah.
Wow.
Um, my other brother-in-law,
Yep.
and you know,
Shout out to the
yeah,
brother-in-laws, man. They coming up
bro,
with you.
the family coming up with me. It's all in the family, you know.
Yeah, it
Um,
is.
and yeah, he was with us for a little bit too. We made some bangers, you know, for the time. Um, and yeah, but then eventually, you know, life is life. We start it. It comes from a thing of like when we were kids, we were passionate about it, but at a certain point, you got to be like, all right, I got to grow up and pay the bills. So like
Mm.
for a while, we went on a bit of a hiatus, um, but I never stopped. So like while the two other guys were like yeah, I love to do this,
Mm-hmm.
they were still like, but like my primary thing is you know I gotta pay the bills. And
Yep.
my boy Andrew, he's blue collar, you know, and he's working
Hardworking
for
man.
the he's working
Hardworking
with
man.
yeah, he's working with the union now in New York. He's doing plumbing. So,
Mm.
you know, it's good stuff, you know,
Yeah.
for him lined up. And, you know, my man Josh, he he was going into like the business side of things. He was going to school for that, and you know, it was just a thing of like, yo, life is life, you know.
Yeah, it is.
So you know, at a certain point, you got to be like, all right, I gotta pay these bills. You know, it was fun. I gotta pay these bills. So we couldn't devote the same amount of time to it.
Yeah.
But because I was kind of like the producer, the main producer, the guy with the equipment and everything like that, and not to mention the one um who had the most intense passion for it from the beginning since I was little, I would say that that's why I just like stuck it out. It was gonna be like with or without anybody, like whether or not I'm rocking, you know, doing things, making music with people, or
Mm.
whether I'm doing it, you know, dolo. You
Yeah.
know, it's gonna be I'm gonna keep doing it. So yeah, that's basically how it happened. Is
Wow.
like so after like me and Andrew, like we like here and there, like we kept on making hits. We kept on doing what we were doing. I call it hits, but it was a hit with us. We never even released some of the stuff. So we still gotta re-record it and drop it. Um, but yeah, I was always still sticking with it, still trying to find my sound, putting my stuff up on Spotify and everything like that. Um, so yeah, you know,
Wow.
um, it was definitely a journey, and then it led me all the way to here now. And at 23, you know, still dropping, still making stuff, and trying to break my way into the Christian hip hop, Christian music
Mm.
industry. But not even just that, but just music in general,
Yeah.
because people put, you know, like a label on it, and I understand why people do that, you
Yeah.
know. Um, and I'll never be someone to like be like, oh, you know, like not talk about my faith. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like I could also make music that's just about life. You know, it's just
That's
about
true.
different aspects of things, and it doesn't necessarily have to every single song be about God.
Yeah.
But God is always in it,
Amen.
regardless. So even if he's not mentioned explicitly,
Mm.
um, he's in there always.
Yeah.
So you know, and that's where I'm at now, you know. And right now, I'm kind of on a thing of like being, you know, more intentional with how I incorporate, you know, my faith into my music,
Mm.
especially um, since I'll you're probably gonna ask a question about this later, but just when I'm on the come up with my man Zay Hill, that's someone that's been really mentoring me and taking me under his wing. That's been leading me more into the Christian music, Christian hip hop realm. You get what
Mm.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So it started at age 11. That's awesome. Now, when it did start at the age, right? So you like you said, your dad introduced you to GarageBand. You started making beats, and then you started, then you started going up and with Andrew and Josh making lyrics and all that stuff. Was it
Mm-hmm.
when you first started? Has it always been, you know, like Christian music, or was it just like you making beats and writing random words, random lyrics? Or I know you just explained that you kind of you want to start incorporating more of your faith into it, but in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
when you first started, how like was it always just Christian based? Like did you try to write raps strictly, trying to point everything to your faith and everything?
So actually, it was always from the beginning. Like I would argue that it was 100% faith based at that time because
Mm,
I was just listening to Christian rappers. So it was me, since I was so inspired by them, I was just trying to imitate them.
Mm.
And it goes to show, role models, and how positive role models can really help. I mean, I didn't know what I was talking about half the time, and some of my lyrics were like questionable, and it's because I was a kid. It's like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? But at the same time, it was 100% just like explicit. Explicit in the sense of not explicit with an e next to it, explicit in the sense of explicitly about God.
Mm.
As a young kid. And then as I got older, so like once I turned like 18, 19, I started to get more in the mindset of like broadening my horizons, not
Mm.
necessarily not talking about God, not necessarily, completely turning around, abandoning my faith, anything like that, but starting to talk about different aspects of life, and also
Mm.
like kind of realizing like, what, there's different areas that I could talk about. It doesn't always have to be, a sermon in a song. Um, and I think I had that mindset when I was little, because when you're little, everything's black and white. But yeah, I definitely branched out more when I was like 18, 19. I released a song called Beach House, and that was
Oh, that
just
one's
a
good.
song about.
That's another good one.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and that's like, and that's kind of speaking to what I said about doing different genres. That song is straight up like indie pop
Yeah.
type stuff,
Complete 180
and
to what you were putting out.
and that's why I'm Strange Child, bro. That's what I'm about. Just constantly switching it up, constantly doing something different. Even if I'll be on a wave for a while,
Hmm.
it's never gonna be forever. It's never gonna be forever. So, I released the song Beach House, and that song was just about kind of, it was to calm people's mindset that were just anxious. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
and it was also kind of me. It's weird, like no one hears this in the song, but it was me venting a little bit about how people just be on go like all the time, and they can never take a moment to just breathe,
I
and they
heard it.
want
I heard it, bro.
yo
Listening to it, I
we
heard it, and I'm like, yo, cause, and then the talking about the like being at the beach house. I'm like, then I put myself at a beach house. I'm just like, it's so calm, so relaxing, so chill, and you're so mellow, and you're just like, you're not worried about a thing in the world when you're at a beach house.
word, and actually I was at a beach house when I made that song. That's what got me
Oh, that's
into it.
nice,
Yeah,
inspirational.
we we were on a vacation in a beach house in Bethany Beach. Forget if it's Delaware or Maryland. It's somewhere right there. But that is a beautiful. I was like, yo, this is not like Jersey Shore. Shout out Jersey Shore. I'm originally from Jersey. I'm in PA now, but I'm originally from Jersey. Shout out Jersey Shore. No disrespect, but the sand over there in Bethany Beach was softer. It was just
Mm,
hitting different. I was like, yo, and it wasn't as crowded. I was like, yo, this is dope. And it wasn't like as cold either.
yeah,
Like I feel like Jersey Shore is cold, bro.
yeah,
But
it is.
shout out Jersey, bro.
Shout
That's
out
I
Jersey,
I
and
I
that
came
cover
up
art.
in Jersey.
That cover art is you, right? Standing on the beach.
Yep. That was a
That's nice.
picture that my sister took of me, and it's just got that beautiful sunrise going
Yep.
on and I was just like, yo, this is it, bro. So while we were on that vacation, I just got mad inspired. You know me. You know how I'm gonna get. I just
Yeah.
get I just get a wave of it. Wave, huh? I get a wave of
Hey,
inspiration, and I produced, wrote, recorded everything
all in
just
that
on that
weekend.
vacation
All on
in
the
in
vacation.
in in that 3 day span. Yep,
No way. The whole song.
yep, yep.
That's
Because
amazing.
I was just, we were just chilling at the house for a while,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know what? Let me just do it. And when you're inspired, it doesn't feel like work. It's just
Mm.
go 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 go. It's like playing video games. Like to me, that's my video games. So if people, just how people could end up, before you know it, go down a rabbit trail. It's like, oh dang, I was on a game for 5 hours. That's how I be. Like
Wow.
sometimes I have to really lock in, because I'm like, dude, like I haven't eaten. I'm like, yo, like it when I lock in, I lock in. And it's sometimes OD. But
Hey, you're passionate, man. You trying to make the best version of yourself, best music of best version.
absolutely, bro. And I'm trying to release quality, but
Mm.
also quality to me. So like not just quality to whatever the industry is saying. Even though
Mm.
I'm still hearing that, I'm still attuned to that. I'm not gonna ignore trends. I'm not gonna ignore like what's going on, and I'm gonna hop on them in a sense. I'm gonna
Oh,
because
okay.
like because I have artists that I love, Christian and secular,
Yeah,
and there's something they're doing something, and it's like, all right, let me kind of draw inspiration from the sound. Everyone's inspired by somebody.
of
um
course.
so yeah, that's what that song Beach House was about. It was just like, it was just what you call it, I would say, it was funny. Like, I sounded so chill, but in a sense I really was venting. I was venting about how, like I said, sometimes you just gotta slow down when everyone else is in a rush.
Mm.
And it was like, yo, um okay, so what I was saying was, so the song Beach House um was basically just me, it was me inspiring people to chill, but also in a sense venting about how they don't chill. But I didn't allow it to um sound like I was venting about them not being chill, because that's not chill. You get, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like if I'm making a song, and it's like got a different, like a harder beat and everything like that, I could talk my talk, obviously keeping it
Mhm.
godly. But in Beach House, I was like, because I was also very inspired by, I was working at a summer camp that previous summer, and
Mm.
I was really inspired by this one guy. So I would say the song was inspired by my trip to the beach, but it had a backdrop. It was into that beach house. It had a backdrop. It was also, the backdrop was my friend that I had been working with as a camp counselor. We were both counselors for the same house. Um,
Mm.
and he was a dude that he was always like, man, like, why everybody tripping, bro? What, why do we need to stress ourselves out? Like, bro, the thing is gonna get done regardless of, like, why do we need to go? Why do we need to, always be like, go, 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 go? Like, there's a
Mm.
sense in which, like, keeping yourself composed,
Yep,
letting go of that kind of like anxious, and but you know what, I'm also understanding, because people do really go through anxiety, bro. People really do go through that stuff, and
that's true.
that's also I also made the song for those people too, the people that are genuinely like um struggling with anxiety. And it's like, you know what, like, let me realize um that God's got it under control. I don't even
Yeah.
think I said that in the song. And that's what I mean when I say God is in everything, because
Yeah.
certain things are implied, just the backdrop of who I am, and
Mhm.
and what I'm about, and what I say in my music. So yeah, that was um that was definitely that, and that was how I went with Beach House. So yeah.
Which is a great song. If you everyone who's listening, please go listen to that one. That was a really good one. If you're worried or stressed about something, just put it on, close your eyes and just chill. Let
Yeah.
Strange Child take you to another place. All right.
Yeah,
um.
bro. Always.
so uh so real quick. So what do you think, to you personally? What comes easier? Creating lyrics or creating beats? 'Cause I know you say you do produce. You're a producer as well. So what do you find
Mhm.
easier? Doing writing down the lyrics for a song, or creating a random beat? And then I want you to take us to the process of you creating like one of your songs. Of what do you do in your creating process?
Absolutely, great question, bro. So it's actually really interesting, because I haven't. It's a good. I say great question because I haven't actually thought about that. Which one is
Mm.
easier? But now that I think about it, I would say, um, it's the same right now, because right now I'm going through a period where, actually, believe it or not, is they're both hard. Like, because
Mm.
I've been so focused on doing my other things. So I have a full-time job. I'm still also trying to get my career up in other areas, just so I can make money. Because
Mm.
in music, I hate to break it to you, yo, but if you're getting into music, bro, like, it's do it for the passion, bro.
Yep.
Don't, like, I mean, you can get revenue for it, but like at the same time, like, I wouldn't always say like, oh, that's the bread and butter. You know, you're not gonna become Jeff Bezos off this stuff.
Jeff
but
Bezos.
but but I'll say that while I'm still trying to, do that, um, like I be focusing on my career stuff, focusing on
Mm.
my career besides outside of music. Um, so because I think I allowed myself to really start focusing on that stuff, it actually killed a little bit of that fire that I used to have, and it makes me really sad because it's probably the first time in my life that it's been that way.
Mm.
First time in my life since music. Like it was always coming easy. It was always like, and I would say it sometimes it's even hard to write a verse because it it doesn't flow as evenly as it used to, and I really got to check that out. I'm like, man, maybe I need something, bro. Maybe I need like a hiatus. I don't know. Maybe I need to just chill. But at the same time, I'm not chilling from music. I'm, if anything, I'm a chill from other stuff. I'm a, kind of calm down on other stuff. I'm a
Yeah.
lock into what I want to do because at the end
Mm.
of the day, God provides.
Yes,
Um,
it does.
so, yeah. So, I would say at a certain point, the season right before this one, I don't know from when to when it was, but I would have said making a beat was easier, because I just throw in the stuff, do the things or whatever. I don't use GarageBand anymore. I use Logic Pro. I
Mm.
started
Oh
using
wow,
Logic Pro when I was
that's a
like
good one. That's a
15.
good. That's a good
Yeah,
software.
Logic Pro is goaded. I got nothing against the FL Studio people. Y'all do your thing. I got no beef with FL Studio. Ableton, people that use Ableton, the rocket scientists. But anyway, it's all good. um, but yeah. So I would have said probably like a year ago, I would have said it was easier to make beats, and then probably a few months before that, I would have said it was easier to write verses. So what's interesting is that it's all it changes depending on the season I'm going through.
Mm.
Um, so I will also say, you said talking about my process, right? My
Yeah.
process works this way, and it has been this for years. Usually, 9 times out of 10, I'll make a beat and I'll write to it. 9 times out of 10, and that
Mm.
doesn't matter if it's hip hop, that doesn't matter if it's indie. That, like, for my last EP, called Expect Little Coherence, right? Um, that EP was entirely written by me making beats and then writing to it. So that's usually my process, and I'll kind of, what I'll do is, I'll make the beat, export it, everything like that, and just listen to it on my phone,
Mm-hmm.
vibe, vibe, and then just kind of play around with little notes, and then and I remember for the song, um, what song was it? Gas. That's like hitting the
Oh, that
gas. We
one.
gonna be moving it. We moving fast.
That one's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, believe it or not, that was definitely influenced by like that Gunna Future type sound, and I was going for
Yo, it
like
goes
that
that one. Yo, that one and Ruthless, bro. Ruthless is one of my top five.
oh, word, yeah, man, yeah, bro. Ruthless was just that song I listened to today, and I never fail. There's no, it's a weird feeling when you're an artist
Uh
and
huh.
you're speaking to yourself from the past,
Mm.
because I dropped that in 22. I think the EP. I'm pretty sure I dropped that in
Yeah.
22. So it's been a year and change, um, and all of a sudden, like I was listening to Ruthless, and I'm like, dang, bro, I feel like I'm talking to me. It's like crazy. Like I go dummy, I go stupid. They can't stop me. I'm ruthless, and it's
Uh
just
huh.
I get this feeling of just like I gotta hustle, I gotta grind, bro. Every time, because and I was talking about like I can't get stuck in paralysis by analysis. Gotta just more
Ooh.
than say I'm about it,
Uh.
because people talk that talk, but they don't always be about it. And
Mm.
I'm not even talking about no violent stuff, about that action. Some people, that's the life for some people, and
Yeah, it is.
people who make songs that sound like Ruthless, a lot of times it is because, yo, and my friend had told me, he was like, yo, Christian drill, bro, you bugging. Like, it's not that. It's like that stuff
But
is for the
it's
street. I'm like,
yeah,
bro, God can
nah.
use
It's
any
it's how you
sound,
do it.
bro.
It's how
They
you
said the
make it.
same, bro. They said the same thing about boom bap hip hop in the '90s. They were like, what? That's the devil. That's
Mm.
the devil music, man. God can't use that. Or rock and roll. They were
Yeah.
like, but you got Christian rockers too. So it's like, God uses anything, bro. Bro, I've
Yes, he
even heard of
does.
Christian metal, bro. It appeals to whoever is listening and
Yep.
whoever God could reach.
Exactly.
That's and that's
Because
that's just what I'm about.
not everyone listens to the same type of pop, hip hop, uh, metal, rock. No one like not everyone listens to all the same stuff. So that's like you're saying, God's gonna use that person to make that type of music to touch that person.
For
So,
real, yeah. And actually, now that you say that, it reminds me of one of my core values as an artist is I want to make something for everyone. And
mm,
so by the time you look at a 5 year span of all the stuff I've released, I want to be able to say that if you send 100 people to my discography, they will all take something out of it and be like, I like this sound. And it's all different types of people from all different backgrounds. That's the whole idea of Strange Child. It's
mm,
it's just being different, being strange. Listening to all of those things. Like and I feel like that's one of the key reasons. Also, I call myself Strange Child because I was that kid, and that's probably why they said that. Like, oh, you're such a strange child because I was that kid that 1 second I'll be playing hip hop, the next second I'll be playing traditional Chinese Aru music, like like because the reason why is because I see music is a universal language. It's the most beautiful gift that God has ever
mm.
given us, in my opinion. Um, because we use it to to connect with each other, to connect with God, to connect with ourselves, and figure out what's going on inside. Bro, music is just a universal language, and
Yeah,
that's
it
why
is.
like I'm so big on something for everybody. If there's someone that likes lo-fi hip hop and just wants to do some homework, I got that for them coming soon. Someone who even likes alternative, weird, different kind of stuff, like the avant-garde, like stuff that regular day-to-day people don't listen to, I got that too, and that's coming too. People who want to drive at night and just roll the windows down and forget about the stressful day at work. um that's also the people that I want to reach. I just
Mm.
want to have something for everybody.
And that's what's up. And I'll be the first one to say you reached me with your with some of your music because I like to run, and when I run I like to listen to more upbeat and like more you know like pumping music, and that's why like I was saying Ruthless, I'll be bumping Ruthless while I was running, man. I'm just like, yeah, we going, we out here.
Yeah, dude. Oh, that's awesome to hear that, bro. I love hearing stuff like, yeah, bro, I was working out. Yeah, I was running to my songs. That's just so I just love hearing that. And what's crazy is kind of going to the point I was making. On that same album, you have the song Home, which is like
Mm,
super like light guitar, like
yes.
falsetto vocals, what you call it, like very much inspired by guys like like Bonnie Bear and like Nomo Amor, like really just like chill indie like folk ambient
Mm.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And on the same album, bro, that's why it's called expect little coherence, because it's not all holding together in one straight line. It's everywhere, bro. That's how I wanted to introduce myself as Strange Child.
And I think that was like the perfect way, just giving all points of angles that you come from. Because even flannel and firewood, that one is also a very like different direction of what you usually be making. Like I think it's really cool. I like your whole brand of Strange Child, of how you never know what's gonna be coming out, but just know when it
You
does,
never know.
it's gonna be fire.
Dude, yeah, bro, I appreciate that, man. I
Of
appreciate that.
course.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, man.
Now with your music, right? You use sometimes you use scriptures, right? How
Hmm.
do you blend that in with your lyrics? Do you find a Bible verse? Do you find a verse like that and then you work around it, or do you bake the lyrics and then fit it into there? Like how do you go about that one?
So what I will say is 9 times out of 10, or 10 times out of 10 actually, I haven't in recent memory, in recent music, I haven't directly quoted a scripture and just inserted it into the music. Through reading the word and through being taught the word in my church and everything like that, because I have a real good pastor. Shout out Pastor Reggie. You know,
Shout out,
um,
shout out.
shout out Pastor Reggie, because he be breaking down the word how it's supposed to be broken down, not how the typical evangelical machine sometimes will have it broken down, or how
mm,
certain teachers that you might hear on the TV or whatever, break it down. Nah, like he applies it to like this is how you use it in life. Um, and so because I have so much of that in my head, sometimes I'll be saying the scripture. I probably said scriptural stuff like or like almost direct quotes to scripture in my music and probably didn't even realize it, just because it's so baked in now. Especially like one like being raised, with a father and mother who are very they emphasize the word and they
Mm,
influence that in my life, with my pastor, and also just with me, reading the word myself. Every day I try to get it in, and I say people who struggle to read it, listen to it,
mm.
because a lot of people they'll be like, man, like I have a hard time reading, and I'm like, bro, in the car, just put it on, listen to it, have something to drink, that's 0% alcohol content because you're driving, but but like and just listen,
Mm,
and you'd be surprised if you could lock in and pay attention, and even if you read just one chapter, bro, if you listen to just one chapter, and I started doing that actually, and that really kind of influenced my mind to be like, all right, this is how the scripture works, this is who God is, this is how I'm supposed to live my life, and
mm.
as a result it just comes out in the music naturally. I don't even stress over it. I don't even try to be like, oh, like how can I, insert every single possible, scriptural reference. It's just know the word, bro, and it's gonna know you. you know.
Ooh, that's a good
That's
way to put that one. I like that. That's a good way to put it.
that's yeah, man.
That's what's
That's
up.
that's just what it is.
So okay, so along those lines, then, do you feel like while you're creating this music, has it strengthened your faith, or
Abs,
even played
bro.
into your obedience more into just obeying what God says and just staying on His path and just focusing on this is what He has planned for you.
I would say absolutely, but it's not even making the music necessarily that
Mm,
is the part that does that, is hearing it. Because when it's been some time or whatever and I'll listen to a song that I made, and I'll just be I'm like, yo, this is the truth, and it just hits different. Like I was saying earlier, it just hits different when it's your own voice. Like
mm,
I have to realize I'm experiencing something very unique that like I feel like 90% of the people in the world are never going to be able to experience. And that's your own voice telling you through music the truth. Like, because everyone else,
ooh,
like, they'll be able to hear it. And I just have this unique experience of being able to hear from my own words, my own heart, and everything like that. It's like a therapy, bro. Because it's like literally like not on no crazy stuff, but it's like
no, no.
talking to yourself.
Yeah,
Because some people talk themselves, but they're a little crazy. But
yeah.
but not even like that. It's more like, bro, like a voice from a place you were genuinely at, um, just speaking, and it was what it was, what it was recorded. It can't change. So like, just hearing that and just like me speaking the truth of God through that
Mm.
has definitely big like majorly played a role in my faith and in my walk. Absolutely, absolutely, bro.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, I know at the time when we were younger and everything, I know at the time Lecrae and everything and Eminem, you got a lot of inspiration from them. But what other famous Christian musicians that have you grabbed inspiration or that you admire and you want to not I want to say follow their footsteps, but at least go like get to where they are one day.
Yo, so first of all, shout out Lecrae, man. This is his merch right here. Yeah, man.
Oh,
The the what's it say? It says accepted. You know
mm,
the the merch that he had. I was at his show actually. He went for Winter Jam. He was one of the artists, and bro, he really shut it down, man. It was epic. Um, so I was one of the people turning up the most. So much so that actually a couple of other artists that were at their booth, they pulled us aside and we're like, yo, like me and a couple of the people I went, like, yo, we saw you guys turning up the most out of everybody. Like it was some other artists that were
wow.
also touring. and I was like,
Oh,
dang,
I
man.
think Ty was telling me about that. That was actually
Yeah,
really cool that they did that. But hey, man, you
yeah,
guys are going hard.
yeah, bro. We were going crazy, bro. I like lost my voice. It was crazy. Cause yeah, shout out Lecrae. He won 2 Grammys,
Oh,
um,
that's yep.
last night. So I mean, big shout out.
Yeah, huge,
Um,
huge.
and yeah, I did grow up listening to him. I grew up listening to Andy Mineo. Shout out Andy Mineo. I would say, like you, to your question, all the artists that have influenced me is KB, KB, K to the
Oh, I
second
love
letter.
KB.
I've been listening to KB since I was young, and I just seeing him, and even here to us talking on the podcast, you should check out his podcast, bro. It's called Southside Rabbi, and he has a really good podcast, and that stuff is epic.
Mm.
He be chopping it up on there and just giving his opinions on just the world and everything around. He's not afraid to tackle the issues, but like from a loving, compassionate, but at the same time godly heart, and it's just amazing.
Mm.
I love his stuff. You should really check it out when you get the chance. Everyone who's watching, um,
Yeah.
and and yeah, so shout out KB. I'm inspired a lot of times by his flows, by his wordplay, how he puts together his music. It's really dope. I like him. I like Holvey. He's another artist in Reach Records. Shout out Wande. She's shutting it down. But also Jackie Hill Perry, bro. Jackie Hill Perry's different. Like
Mm.
she's a different beast. Um, Jackie Hill Perry, honestly, one of my top three, honestly,
Oh
because her
wow. Okay.
lyricism, her flows, everything like that. Check out Jackie Hill Perry. She also has a podcast. You also might have seen her on TikTok, because some of her stuff on TikTok, goes pretty viral. Because
Mm.
but honestly, shout out Jackie. Um, who else? Who else? Who else? I got a bunch of people. Shout out to Dashi.
Oh,
He be shutting it
Tadashi. Yep.
down. Yeah, he keep it real.
Yep.
Um, and yeah, there's a lot of artists. My playlist is so big, I be losing track, bro. Oh, and of course, shout out Zay Hill. Zay Hill is the guy that put me on, that reached out to me to help me get my music to another level, and we're still working on that to this day. We're still working on getting my name out there as a CHH artist. So
Mm.
shout out Zay Hill for sure, bro.
What was it? What was the abbreviation?
Zay Hill. So
No, no, no.
Zay Hill.
You
Oh,
said to
what you
get your
say?
name out there as a what artist?
Oh, CHH. Yeah, bro.
CHH.
That's Christian hip hop.
Oh, okay. I was confused. I was trying to see what that stands for. CHH.
Yeah,
Okay,
bro.
Christian hip hop.
Yeah,
Oh,
bro.
that's what's up.
Also, yeah, man. Also, shout out No Big Deal. No Big Deal. He's fire. And I'm blanking on so many names, but my list is giant, bro. Because I got a massive playlist. I go more by songs, than just by individual artists.
Yeah,
But like, yeah, that stuff be going hard. Don't
that
sleep on Christian hip hop, bro. Don't sleep on CHH.
never
That's
have,
This is to
never
the
have.
people. This is to the people, bro. Don't sleep on CHH, bro. We coming. We out here.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, out here. Nah, I never slept on them. I still listen. I love listening to all types of Christian hip hop. One
Hmm.
of the bigger people I've listened to was NF. He wasn't. He mainly wasn't God and Christian based, but it was more like you were saying earlier about like just like what he's gone through, his feelings and all that stuff. So I listened to him a lot more.
Hmm.
Growing up, and so he was a
Hmm.
big one. Um, now
Yeah, yeah, bro.
this next question, right? It's kind of tough, but there's always different answers. There's a whole bunch always different answers if you ask a
I'm
older
ready, bro.
person, younger person. So why do you personally believe it's hard for Christian hip hop (CHH) to music to
Mm.
be accepted in churches?
Mm. So I would say this. It's likely due to what I was saying earlier about how sometimes the generation before ours or before that one is there's an apprehension to like the new sounds. So like the same thing like I said happened with rock and roll.
Mm,
Same thing happened with hip hop when it first came out in the '90s with that boom bap. They were like, man, what's this devil music? Um, you know, a lot of people have feelings about its origins. But you know what I say to them is, God will use anything.
Mm.
So I think a lot of it does come from a place of like, I mean, listen to hip hop, listen to what they're saying, listen to what they're talking about, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yeah, but at the end of the day, like God could take anything and redeem. I mean, think about us as human beings. God took
Mm.
us and redeemed us, and like we were just megaphones for nonsense beforehand.
Yeah.
We were just talking crazy,
Yeah.
and then he flipped that around. So how much more if he could flip around souls? I think it's easier for him to flip around a genre. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And just use it for his glory. And the fact that it has been, and I think that I would argue that we're actually breaking into the space more and more. I don't know if you've seen the movie Gran Turismo,
Yes.
movie that came out about racing and the European circuit and everything
Yep.
like that.
Great
And
movie.
bro, awesome movie, underrated, man. I didn't
Yeah,
see a
for
lot of
real.
people talking about it. That movie was just from a pure like cinematic standpoint. That was some fire.
It was
That
a
movie
really
was
good
awesome.
movie.
Um, but in that movie, they included two Christian hip hop songs. They included "Coming in Hot" by
Yep.
Andy Mineo and Lecrae, and they included "Get Out My Way" by Tadashi and Lecrae.
Mm.
And so we're making it into the movies, we're making it into video games, we're making it into into different spaces. And like I said, Lecrae just won 2 Grammys last night. Those aren't his first.
Yep.
Like he's like he's really making moves, and he gives glory to God first.
Always.
So I would say like whether they like it or not, Christian hip hop is coming. It's been here, but I think more and more, I would say it's being accepted in the churches more and
Mm.
more, and I am actually happy to see that. I will say towards the beginning there was struggles, um, and there still are, of course,
Yeah,
because
of course.
there's places all around the country, but the fact that even like tours like Winter Jam, which is most of it, honestly, like the bulk of it is like worship artists
Yeah.
and like contemporary, and they always make sure to have at least one rapper. They always make sure.
Always.
So
Yep.
like there's and that rapper has a full set, and he's doing mad songs. So like um, it's we're breaking into the space, bro. We're disrupting the industry, like they like to call it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready for it, man. This world needs some of that instead of all this, other
Absolutely, bro.
nonsense music. But along with the
Hmm.
hip Christian hip hop being allowed in churches, I guess you could say. But do you think eventually down the line you will they will have it to where, like, you go to church on Sundays, you start with worship, all that stuff. Do you think eventually we'll be at a time where they incorporate maybe some someone like you to come up and spit some bars on Christian hip hop and the verses and Bible and all that thing? Do you think we'll get to a time like that, or you think they'll always have keep the Christian hip hop at bay?
Right. So I would say in for Sunday church,
Hmm.
it's a little different because a lot of times churches are trying to promote during that time anyway a sound in which everybody can sing together, because that's kind of the whole
Mm,
point, is everybody singing
true.
together. And so with hip hop sometimes it's like a solo artist, so it's a little bit more difficult with that. So churches that do that, I understand, um, but at the same time, um, churches absolutely have started incorporating, and I can see it more so in the future, hip hop into things like their events, into even like their Friday night, stuff, their Wednesday night stuff,
Mm,
everything like that. Like the time where there's a venue, and even on Sundays, like let's say the time for all singing together has kind of come to an end, and they're collecting offering or something, right?
yeah.
There are churches that have done that and started incorporating hip hop into that space. Even
Mm.
my church, we had a whole event in which I was the one doing the rap and stuff like that.
Oh wow,
And shit
really?
was good. It was, yeah, it was a great time, man. Yeah, like
Wow, that's
it
awesome.
was it was it was like a it was like a it was a while ago, so I'm trying to recall the memory. But it was me, Andrew, and Josh. Actually, we were all shutting it down.
Oh,
It was a lot of
I
fun,
remember
bro.
seeing clips and videos on that. You guys that had like
Yeah,
almost a
bro.
whole set.
Yeah, we had like three, four, I think maybe even five songs. Yeah, it was what's up. It was the stuff. So,
Oh
you
man,
know,
wait, talk a little bit about that one. How was that? You know, was that your first time performing with at least other people, or first time on the stage, rapping, and it was your original music, right?
yep.
So was that your first time? How was that? How did you guys prepare for that, and like the just like the shock and awe about it? How was it?
Yeah, so I would say that was the second time. The first
Okay.
time was actually during a play that we did. It was a play that was written for the talent show, and it was like a big talent show where everybody in the church was all like there, and they were watching the play. And
Hmm.
in the play, me and Andrew played two characters, two teenagers that got profiled. I don't know. Like people were like, oh, these teenagers about to steal or whatever, blah blah. They got urban clothes on, blah blah blah. You
Hmm.
know, that type of stuff. And then basically we started rapping in like intertwined with the play, and we started rapping about our experience, and we started rapping, kind of talking about the different things that kids our age will sometimes face. At that time, we were like 15.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was the first time, and then the second time, the one that you're talking about, is we did a full set. So we did a few songs. With it was me, him, and Josh, and we did stuff that we had together. And yeah, it was awesome, man. Like we just pulled up, and everybody like that already had known us was like, yeah, and it was a pretty lit event, and we were just jumping, and it's
Yeah, I
that
remember
hype
seeing the
stuff,
videos. It looked hype.
bringing yeah, bringing that presence, bro. And then actually there was a third time. We it was just me and Andrew,
Mm.
and we actually it was just me and Andrew, and then we brought out Josh, because we had one song with him together, one or
Oh.
two, um, and me and Andrew did his own solo thing. We did our stuff that we did together, but we did this song that I'll never forget. It's called "Hop in the Whip," and it hasn't been like officially released yet. Like there was like a
Yeah.
little thing on YouTube or whatever, but that song I'm looking to release, like, because that one
Ooh.
go like "Hop in the Whip and let's ride." It's like a drill type song. So like
Oh, please do. Please do.
it's really hype, and Andrew's verse, he absolutely kills it. Like it's one of the times where I'm like, yo, his verse better than mine, bro. That's crazy. Like like his like usually I'll always like work to very much ensure that I'm like, yo, this is the best verse I could possibly muster. Um, but he just blew me out the water because he was killing it. He just brought that energy. I'm like, oh shoot. So yeah, we're excited about that. I definitely want to release that. So we did that song, and I had everybody jumping. So yeah, bro,
That's
it
what's up.
was
You got to
it was
produce that.
lit.
Get that one out, bro. I want to hear that one.
Absolutely, and God willing, within a year, bro, within a year, I'm trying to get that out.
Oh, okay, okay. You heard that? Everyone heard that. Within a year, we're gonna hold him to it. We're gonna hold him to it.
Yeah, bro.
Now,
Yeah.
so that's cool. So that's like so you got some experience of rapping in front of people, having almost a full set in front of people. So that's at least that's cool that you're getting that experience and not just your first time is like in front of thousands of people. At least
Right, right.
you're getting more comfortable on the stage. And
Mm-hmm.
so along with that, with the music industry and everything, I know it's a very extremely hard industry to try to break into. But how do you continue to produce and release music? And like what keeps you going? What drives Strange Child every day to be like, I'm gonna break it. I'm gonna break into the industry and I'm gonna shock everybody.
Right. So what I would say is, number one is the passion for the music. It's because
Mm.
I love it, and I actually had seen this question somebody asked once on the internet. They were like, Um, if no one ever heard your music again, it's like speaking to all artists. If no one ever heard your music or saw your paintings or saw your art or whatever, would you still do it? And I'm like, in a heartbeat. If I was the only one ever to hear my music, I would still do it because I love to do it. You know what I'm saying? And
Ooh.
so even though I love reaching people, and that's important too, that's like the really important thing. At the same time, I would be content if um, I was put in some crazy, strange situation like that don't make no sense. Um, but yeah, I would say that just my love and my passion for the music keeps me driven, and I'm just, it doesn't even feel like work. It doesn't even feel. I would say the marketing aspect of it, the social media aspect, that feels like work.
Mm.
That part, I'm like, like whatever. I just want to make the music, but it ain't like
Yeah.
that. Um, so, but also in terms of how to actually break into the industry, get people listening. Um, like I said, my man Zay Hill, shout out to him. He's basically my manager, um, because he had reached out to me talking about like, listen, I really like your music, and I'm trying to, help out artists that are just starting out, and so he's basically helping me get that music, out and like, using like kind of the connections he has, on top of him himself, being an artist with 50 something thousand listeners a month. Um,
Wow.
you know, and me and him, we've done a bunch of songs together. Some of them aren't even out yet. you
Oh
know,
snap.
yeah, and be on the lookout for that too. Um, but
Ooh.
but he's definitely gonna be helping me with kind of the connections aspect, because it's who and I'm forever grateful to my man Zay.
Mm.
Just for that.
Okay, got you. Okay. Oh, I can't wait, man. You got a lot of music in store for us, huh?
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
man.
excited. I'm excited. So, wait,
Absolutely.
you just mentioned, you know, being on social media and trying to, get your brand out there, get yourself out there, get the, Strange Child out there. So now, say I'm a random person, just scrolling, whatever. Okay, cool. Look, oh, I found this guy. His name is Strange Child. I'm listening to his
Hmm.
music. What's like when someone discovers you, what's the main thing you want them to take away with them when they listen to your music or a song or a few different songs, or they just check out your profile or look at all that stuff? What's like the main thing you want them to take away with them?
I would say, I would want them to look at whatever song that they're listening to, and whatever they come across that they like, that's in my discography, and being like, yo, this is something that really resonates with me. This is something that I feel like someone is straight up speaking to me. I feel like someone is,
Mm.
actually um, real. Someone who's actually trying to, um, benefit the people, with music, and not push negativity. And I want them to feel just the positivity and the light, and the
Mm.
light that comes from God. The light that comes from God, I want it to shine through the music. Um, and they feel it. I want them to feel it, even if it's a song that's not even about necessarily faith, not even about explicitly mentioning God or anything like that. I still want them to hear um, just the light through that.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, okay. And I feel like that's a huge, huge importance of it. Now, kind of piggybacking off that question, right? So, say obviously right now, for someone who's listening to this episode, right? You can say, "Hey, go listen to this one song if you want to get like the gist of who I am." Would you rather do that, like tell someone go listen to this specific song, or would you rather them go in, find you and just have pretty much, have God guide them to a song and have them listen to a song?
So here's what I would do. I would ask them, what type of music do you like?
Mm.
And they'll answer, and I'll be like, all right, I'll point you here. I'll point you here. I'll point you here. For example, like, oh, I like, like melodic type hip hop. I like guys like, like Trippy Red. I like Juice World. I like some Apollo G stuff. I like, all these like kind of melodic. I like Lil TJ, like little like melodic stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, all right, go listen to Spaceship. Go listen to Let Me Down. Those are songs that I've done. Um, if they're like, yo, I like Gunna, I like Future, all right, go listen to Gas. You know,
Mm,
um, I like drill music. Go listen to Ruthless. You know, I like indie music. Go listen to Home, and go listen to Timeless. You know, those are
okay.
alternative songs that I've done. Um,
Yeah.
and if they say, oh, you know, I like songs that are about, the real struggles I'm going through, and it's a little bit sad. It relates to my heart and where I'm at. I'll be like, all right, go listen to Where I'm At. That's actually a song that I have. And then go listen to, I don't know, IDK. Go listen to that. Go listen to Flowers if you need to have, um, just the word spoken to you. So
Mm,
that's what I would say is I would ask them, what type of music do you like, and just point them. And as I release music more, I'm gonna have more to point to, more different
mm,
different type of sounds, different type of vibes. That's the goal.
okay, nice. Would you say? Would you say that's no? I wouldn't say that's your most rewarding aspect. So, in your own way, what's the most rewarding aspect of creating your own music?
hmm So I would literally say the most rewarding aspect of the music is just the music itself, the finished product.
Mm,
Like I would just listen to it and be like, if I never released this, I would still love it. Like just because
mm,
I've put so much work into it. This is my heart. This is my art. This is, and it's not even on some cocky like, oh, I love it so much because I'm so awesome. I'm the best artist in the world. It's not even on anything like that. It's on just like, this is me. This is who I am. This is the most authentic expression of myself that I could come up with. So,
mm,
that's the most rewarding part of it is just the music itself. I would say the second most rewarding part would be um listening to how it impacted somebody in some way. Even if it was like, yo,
mm.
this song was hard, this got me turned up, like, or whatever. Like, okay, cool. That's something that makes me happy.
Yeah,
That's something that gives me joy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Okay, that word. I mean, I think yeah, just just people listening to your music must be like a huge accomplishment in itself, and just be amazing. And so when you're making a new song, coming out with new music, right, and you're getting ready to put it out there, what do you feel more proud, nervous, excited, anxious, scared? What's the main feeling that you get getting ready to put a new song out?
So I feel like the main feeling I get is like, dang, I hope the efforts of like marketing and everything like I've put out to try and get it some traction. The main thing that I think of, I'm not gonna lie, is like, yo, like I hope this goes somewhere. Like I hope, people actually listen to it and it don't flop. Like just as a
Mm.
musician putting out music, I feel like a lot of guys can relate to that. It's just like, man, I just hope this thing don't flop. you know um, but then also, I hope this. I would say the second most like, you know, serious thought on my mind is like, I hope that people really like this.
Mm.
I hope that it finds a home. That it lands somewhere where people can hold it and actually like really enjoy it. I feel like, for example, when I had released the song like Flowers, that was probably
Mm.
the biggest gamble because I was like, I had never mixed like that indie folk sound with the hip hop.
Mm.
And, I was like, where is this gonna go? Who's gonna dig this? And, people liked it. And I was like, that's that rewarding part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Also, that's so everyone the feedback from it just makes you feel proud of your music that you're putting out there for everybody to hear.
Yeah, it makes it of course, you feel proud of your accomplishment and everything you did, but ultimately I also just feel happy that it's like, yo, that I'm able to impact people like this. Like it's such a humbling and like awesome feeling, especially when they hit you with like, yo, like this actually is something that like really struck my heart, bro. Like, you know,
Mm.
hearing that is just it's just awesome.
That's what's up, man. That's awesome. So as we get closer to the end here and we wrap things up, I'm actually I only got a few more questions for you, but these are most of them are just some advice you have everything, but I have this kind of a huge question. Okay, so
Right.
success has many different definitions to people. Okay, so how
Hmm.
would you describe success to you? Like, and what is it? What does it look like for you?
So in terms of my music, I would say success looks like I'm able to get a broader reach, and I'm able to and yeah, that does include numbers. That does mean doing numbers.
Mm,
Monthly listeners on Spotify, things like that. Um, and I wouldn't even say from a financial standpoint, because I'm gonna try and do other things that's gonna hold me down. When it comes to bread. And if I make, it's one of those things, like if I make some money off music, cool, I'm happy with it. But I also recognize the industry for what it is. I
mm,
also recognize that unfortunately we do live in a world that I even heard that, like, Meg the Stallion, um she's, I mean, like, chart topping, like
mm,
doing the most, like, viral songs ever. And
yeah.
then I heard that she was, like, involved in a record deal where, you know, they basically, like, she gets like a few thousand, like yearly, just like or during a certain amount of years. And and that's really sad to me. Like, hearing stuff like
Yeah.
that is really sad to me. But at the same time, I recognize, like, yo, the industry is what it is. It's not exactly the most, lucrative, profitable. Like, so if you're going into it for the money, don't do it. Unless you're gonna become a breakout superstar, in which you a superstar in which you, in a sense, kind of sell your soul, because you
Mm,
you have to you have to sell that authenticity away, in a
yep.
sense. I think if you're really gonna go for just the money. So that's why
Mm,
I don't define success to be financially, at least when it comes to my music. Um, I would say, I would define it also as, like I said, with the numbers, broader reach. Not just because, oh, I feel good because I have a bunch of listeners. I feel good because I'm popular or whatever. I don't even ever want to be famous for real. I don't. Like, because I wanna be able to just, like, live life, do what I want to do. and you know
yes.
um and I just want to scale to the point where, some of the brothers before me have, like,
Mm,
like those guys. You got guys like KB, you got guys like Andy Mineo, who, um they're doing great numbers, and they're reaching a lot of people. But at the same time, they could walk into a grocery store and pick up some things, and you
and
know
walk out
and
and go home.
probably be fine. Like,
Yep.
because not every, like, the Christian industry, there is a level of a bubble kind of thing that is to it. I do want to expand outside that bubble and reach all kinds of people. But,
Mm,
um at the same time, we're just subject to that, right? So I would say I would want to get to around that level, which is like, I can still, like, I have a ton of people that are supporting, a ton of, fans, a ton of people that are like, yo, your music is impacting me. But at the same time, I could go to the store and still pick up something and be chilling. So
exactly.
that's, and I would say the reach totally is the success to me, because it's knowing that I can, that I am impacting people, and
Mm,
that they can turn on my song and actually really either, connect with God, or connect with the world around them, connect, with themselves, and understand themselves. I'm really hoping to do that, and that to me would be success. Absolutely.
wow, that's an amazing answer, man. That's what something.
Appreciate it,
Your
bro.
drive and your energy, man, is just amazing. I can't wait
Appreciate
to
that, bro.
for for your come up, man. Even though you're already on your come up, man.
On
You're
the
already
way up,
started.
on the way up, I'm like on the runway where it's, like, about to take off, man.
Hey, there we go. They're guiding you down the strip. They're like, yo, here we go. You
For
hope you're ready.
sure.
I hope all the seatbelts are buckled. We about to go.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
That's what's up.
For
So
sure.
what's some advice you would give to upcoming to others pursuing CHH?
Yeah, bro. So I would say, um, number one, um, make sure that you get your facts straight. You get everything. You get, like, the things that you're saying. Don't just say anything.
Mm,
Because I feel like there's sometimes I'll be listening to some music and I'm just like, Like, what are you talking about for real? Like I don't know, like, you know, and that's no hate toward those artists. You know, I still got love for every artist
Hmm.
in the industry, but at the same time, it's like, um, you know, you want to make sure that your facts are right, your theology is right. You got to make sure your relationship with God is on point before you
Hmm.
even start, because that's going to lead you, you know, the way that you want to go. I would also say make sure you figure out your sound, make sure you figure out what is authentic to you. You know, don't just be someone that is just, you know, hopping on trends and that's it, you
Mm.
know, because if you do that, you're not really gonna have much of an identity, you know, in my opinion,
Oh, that's
because
true.
you're just hopping from trend to trend to trend. It's like, who is this guy, you know? And whereas that's why, because I'm doing a bunch of different, you know, avenues and a bunch of different sounds. That's why I chose to brand myself as, you know, that strange child, that one that just experiments with everything, because that to me is different than just hopping on trend to trend to trend. So that's what I want to stay away from as much as I can. Um,
That's
I would also,
awesome.
yeah, I would also make sure that your production is right, that you got good quality sound and stuff. You know, use like a decent mic. You know, use a pretty good mic, the best you can get your hands on.
Mm.
Um, you know, just start with that Blue Yeti's, $200. You know, save it if you can. You know, that's like a good starting point.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, you know, get lock in with a good producer, get solid beats, like, get good stuff. You know, you don't I would say, bro, don't mess around with that, because the sound is what drives it. People sometimes underestimate the power that producers have, but being both an artist and a producer, I would know from both sides.
Mm.
So, you know, thankfully I get to save a little money by not having to buy my own beats. But you know, but bro, if you want to lock in with producers, you know, save some bread, do what you got to do, because the quality is worth it. The quality is worth it. And I would say,
Mm.
yeah, just put out good quality music. Focus on whatever you're trying to focus on, like whatever your niche is. If you got that melodic sound, get as good at it as you can. You know, if you got that lyrical, make sure all those bars are like crazy, like on like wordplay, like on 100. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just lock into whatever you want to do, you know, and that's what I would say. And I would also, the advice I would give is always give glory to God and never lose sight
Mm.
of the one that got you there. Never lose sight of the one that gives you breath every day, you know. And I
Oh,
would
yep.
say, you know, don't forget them. You know, don't forget God. Don't forget the ones that brought you to where you got at. Don't forget your day ones. You know, never forget your day ones, because, you know, at the end of the day, those are the people that you can't turn your back on,
Mm.
because they supported you from day one. So always remember your supporters, and always remember your biggest supporter, which is God. So yeah, that's how I would say it.
Boom, mic drop. That's everyone who wants to know what the blueprint and the drive. There it is. You heard it here
Yeah,
first. No, that
yeah,
was great though. That was
for
great.
sure, for sure.
So for I want to just let everyone know, for everyone listening currently, right? I just want to give them real quick my top five from you guys, from you, and who what I think they should go listen to. But you know, they can go listen to whatever order or anything, obviously. But my top five for Strange Child is, I got to put Ruthless at one, IDK at two, Flannel and Firewood at three, Let Me Down at four, and Beach House at five. So you guys got to go listen to these songs, listen to them, actually listen to what he's saying, and just because there's a message in every them, all of them. But also,
Mm.
real quick, you want to let us know what anything you got planned next? Any music, any new collabs, anything like that coming up?
So I'm still working on what type of collabs I want to do. I'm obviously real locked in with Zay Hill. You know, I got stuff coming with him, but in terms of new collabs, still working on that. You know, still scoping out. You know what I'm saying. Still trying to figure out what I want to do. Of course, I'm gonna be collabing with my man Andrew. You know, getting that Hop in the Whip song out, because we got to get that out. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I would say um, working on, like I said, trying to drop something at least every month, you know, and working up to something big, you know. can't talk about too much, you know, because it's a little early. It's a little
Of
early in the
course.
process, but you know, I'm still getting all those things lined up, and just know that it's coming.
It's
Big things are
coming.
coming, you know, and
Mm.
it's gonna hit as hard as I'm trying to make it hit, you know, which is always because I'm always trying to deliver quality. So yeah, just stay on the lookout because
Stay
at least
tuned.
once
Stay
every
tuned.
month, stay tuned because I'm trying to keep dropping, keep dropping.
There you
So
go.
yeah, man,
Let
absolutely.
Also let the people know where they can find you. I'll be sure to plug it in on social media, on the description and all those things. I'll plug everything in, but just you want to give everyone a heads up on where they can find your music.
Absolutely, bro. Strange Child Music on TikTok. You got Strange Child dot music on Instagram.
Mm.
Just Strange Child on Spotify, Apple Music, you know, Amazon Music, everywhere where you can think of. It's on all those platforms. So, you know, tap in and check on stuff out because you know I'm sure something in there is gonna be something that I hope can resonate with you. So absolutely, absolutely.
Boom. And then that was great, man. That was a great interview. A lot of great insight, a lot of great just thank you for, just being on the show and just, coming on here and, spreading awareness of who you are, what you do, your music and everything, bro. I really appreciate you coming on the show today, man.
Dude, I appreciate you, bro. You know, good talking to you as always, bro. You know, thank you for having me. Thank you for extending the invite, bro, and just letting me talk about, you know, my music and what I like to do. I really appreciate it, man. You know, it's good stuff and good stuff is on the way. Good stuff is on the way.
Good stuff is on the way. Thank everyone for tuning in. We'll be back next week with another episode. Yeah, see you then. Thank you, Aaron.
Peace out, bro. Appreciate it.
I go dummy, I go stupid. They can't stop me, I'm ruthless. I ain't staying still, I'm moving. While the other dudes goofing. I don't wanna end up useless. I don't wanna end up clueless. Not knowing what I'm doing. That's why I gotta get to it. With my bros on the road and they rollin', they got my back like a backpack. Some folks say trollin', I know that the facts going over their head like a stand back. Whole lot of them fake, they nice to your face, but when he turn back, bro, that's rap. It's the way it is and that's that. Honestly, I'ma go ghost like Snapchat.